If your spreadsheet has Smith, John, John Smith, and John A. Smith Jr., you don't have three people. You have one messy record. The same problem happens with addresses like ST versus street, random commas, and inconsistent apartment formats. The goal is simple. Make names and addresses consistent without destroying the original data. That means no risky global find and replace, and no changes you can't undo.
You'll build a safe workflow. Keep a raw column, create a clean version, and use formulas that are predictable.
You'll also handle the tricky parts: caps, extra spaces, punctuation, suffixes like junior or 3II, and common address abbreviations. And you'll learn when Excel should standardize and when it should leave things alone. Because the fastest way to break data is to clean it too aggressively. By the end, you'll have a repeatable checklist you can apply to any file you inherit from someone else. Let's start with the one rule that prevents most disasters. Next step. Before you touch formatting, decide what standard means for your use case. Standardization is not the same as correctness. You might standardize for mailing labels, for matching duplicates, or for reporting. Each goal prefers different rules. For example, mailing labels often want uppercase state codes, but matching duplicates might want punctuation removed. So write a small style guide. Pick a name format like first last or last first. Decide how you'll treat middle initials. Decide whether you keep periods and initials. For addresses, decide whether you use ST or street, and how you represent unit numbers, like apt5b versus #5b. Also decide what you will not change, like company names with intentional capitalization. This planning step feels slow, but it prevents rework, and it keeps you from cleaning your data into something less useful. Once the target is clear, the workflow becomes straightforward. Next step. Now for the safety workflow. Keep your original columns exactly as they arrived. Then build new columns for cleaned output. This gives you auditability, and it lets you compare results row by row. If you're using an Excel table, structured references make this easier, but regular ranges work too. Name your columns clearly, like name raw and name clean, address raw and address clean. Then build your cleaning in layers. Start with low-risk fixes that almost always help, like trimming extra spaces and removing non-printing characters. After that, apply casing rules. Then handle punctuation and suffix logic. Finally, add a quality check column that flags rows that might need human review. This layered approach matters, because if something goes wrong, you can identify which step caused it. It also makes your logic reusable across files. The first layer, spaces and hidden characters, solves more than you'd expect. Next step. Messy spacing is the silent killer of matching and sorting. Two values can look identical but fail to match because of double spaces, leading spaces, or hidden characters copied from PDFs. Start with trim to remove extra spaces between words and at the ends. But trim won't remove non-breaking spaces, which often sneak in from web pages. For that, use substitute to swap char 160 with a normal space, then trim again. Another common issue is non-printing characters like line breaks. Clean removes many of those. A practical pattern is clean first, then replace char 160, then trim. This gives you a stable base before you touch casing or punctuation. It's boring, but it's the difference between clean data and data that only looks clean. And once you have this base formula, you can reuse it for both names and addresses. Next, let's make capitalization consistent without mangling real-world names. Next step. Capitalization is tricky because correct varies. Proper case looks nice, but it can break names like McDonald, O'Neill, or Van der Waals. Uppercase can be great for labels, but it can feel aggressive for customer-facing lists. So choose a casing strategy that fits your goal. If you need a readable list, proper is a starting point, but you should expect exceptions. If you need matching and deduping, consistent uppercase can be more reliable. A common compromise is store a display version in proper and a matching key in upper with punctuation removed. For addresses, uppercase is often fine, especially for state codes. Also remember that casing should happen after you fix spacing, otherwise you proper case weird gaps. And if you're working with international names, be cautious. Some casing rules vary by language. Now let's handle punctuation, where most accidental data damage happens. Next step. Punctuation is useful for humans, but it can block matching. The key is to remove or standardize punctuation only in the columns meant for matching or exporting, not in your raw data. Start by listing the punctuation you actually see: commas, periods, hyphens, apostrophes, and extra slashes. Then decide what to keep. For names, apostrophes and hyphens can be meaningful, so you might keep them in the display version. For matching, you might remove most punctuation, but keep hyphens if they distinguish apartment numbers or zip +4. Use substitute in a controlled way, one character at a time, so your logic is readable. Avoid a blanket approach that strips everything, because it can merge values that should stay distinct. Also, watch out for double punctuation like Smith, comma, John, or Saint. Those often come from imports and can be normalized safely. With punctuation under control, we can tackle suffixes like junior and III. Next step. Suffixes create duplicate records because they appear in different places and formats. You'll see junior, JR, junior, III, or second. First, decide your standard list, like junior, SER, III, IV. Then decide placement, usually at the end of the full name, separated by a comma or a space. The safe approach is to detect suffixes as whole tokens, not as partial matches. You don't want junior triggering inside a longer word. If your data is mostly consistent, you can use simple checks like searching for JR or JR. If it's messy, Power Query is often cleaner for token-based parsing, but formulas can still work with careful spacing and punctuation normalization first. Also, don't assume suffix means a different person. It's part of the name, but it shouldn't block matching if your business treats them as the same contact record. Next, let's standardize name order, because last first is its own mess. Next step. Name order problems usually come from mixed formats. Some rows are last first, others are first last, and some include middle names. Start by detecting the comma. If there's a comma, it's likely last first. If there's no comma, treat it as first, last. For comma names, split on the comma, trim both sides, then rebuild as your chosen standard. If you want first last, swap them. If you want last first, keep the comma format but standardize spacing. For non-comma names, the hardest part is multi-part last names like De La Cruz. Excel can't reliably infer that without a reference list, so be honest about limits. You can still improve consistency by trimming spaces, normalizing casing, and handling obvious middle initials. If high accuracy matters, combine rules with a review flag for names containing 3 or more words. Now let's move to addresses, starting with street abbreviations like Saint, Ard, and Av. Next step. Addresses are full of abbreviations, and inconsistent abbreviations break grouping and deduping. Decide whether you want USPS-style abbreviations like ST and RD, or fully spelled words like street and road. Then standardize in one direction only. If you expand abbreviations, be careful. ST can mean street or saint. A city like St. Louis should not become Street Louis. That's why address standardization often needs column separation first. Street line versus city. If your data is in one field, consider splitting it before doing heavy replacements. For street suffixes, use targeted replacements with word boundaries, not partial matches. In formulas, you can approximate this by padding spaces around the text and replacing ST with street, then trimming. It's not perfect, but it reduces accidental hits. Keep a short, tested mapping list. STRD, Av, Boulevard, Dr. LN, CT, Pickway. Next, unit and apartment formats where HAP, APT, and unit collide. Next step. Unit designators are a common source of duplicates. APT 5B, apartment 5B, unit 5B, hash 5B, or ST210. Pick one standard, like APT 5B and ST210, and convert everything to that. The key is to normalize the label, not the number. So you replace apartment with APT, unit with APT if that fits your rules, and suite with STE. Then standardize spacing, so you get exactly one space between the label and the unit value. Also decide how you handle hash. In many datasets, hash 5B is an apartment, but hash 12 could also be a building number in informal data. If you can, only convert hash when it appears after the street portion, not at the start. And if you have both street line 1 and line 2, keep units in line 2 for consistency. Now, let's cover zip codes and state codes, small fields that cause big matching issues. Next step. Zip codes and state codes look simple, but they're easy to break. Zip codes should usually be treated as text, not numbers, because leading zeros matter. If you convert to a number, 02110 becomes 2110, and you've lost information. So format zip columns as text, and if needed, pad to 5 digits. For zip plus 4, decide whether you keep the hyphen. For matching, you might remove the hyphen. For mailing, you probably keep it. State codes should be consistent, typically 2-letter uppercase. If you have full state names mixed in, you'll need a mapping table to convert California to CA. That's a perfect use case for XLOOKUP. Keep a reference table of state name and state code. The same approach works for provinces and regions in other countries. The important part is transparency. Mappings are explicit, easy to audit, and safer than complicated nested formulas. Next, let's talk about building a matching key, so duplicates become obvious without changing your display text. Next step. A matching key is a cleaned version designed for comparison, not for humans. It's how you find duplicates without forcing your visible names and addresses into a weird format. For a name key, you might take the cleaned name, convert to upper, remove punctuation, and collapse spaces. For an address key, you might uppercase, standardize abbreviations, remove commas and periods, and normalize unit labels. Then you can combine fields into a single key, like name key plus zip key, or address key plus city key. This is powerful because it separates two jobs, a display column that stays readable and a key column that stays consistent. It also makes duplicate checks easy with COUNTIF or pivot tables. The trade-off is that keys can create false matches, especially when two different people share a name. So use keys as a flag, not as a final decision. Always keep a way to review the underlying raw fields. Now let's add quality checks that tell you where formulas are likely to be wrong. Next step. Even good rules need guardrails. Add a review column that flags records likely to need human attention. For names, flag anything with unusual patterns, multiple commas, more than 3 words, or numbers inside the name. For addresses, flag missing zip codes, missing street numbers, or street lines that contain a P.O. box plus a street suffix, which often indicates mixed fields. You can also flag records where the cleaned result is dramatically shorter than the raw value, which can indicate over-aggressive punctuation removal. Another useful check is to compare raw and clean and mark when they differ, so you can quickly sample changes. The point is not to catch every edge case. It's to focus your manual review where it matters most. This is how you scale standardization without pretending Excel can interpret every real-world naming convention perfectly. Finally, let's put it all together into a repeatable checklist you can apply to any dataset you receive. Next step. Here's the repeatable process. First, lock in your standard. Name order, casing, punctuation, suffix list, and address abbreviations. Second, protect the raw data by creating clean columns, not overwriting. Third, apply cleaning in layers. Remove hidden characters, normalize spaces, then apply casing, then punctuation rules, then suffix and unit normalization. Fourth, build a matching key for deduping and joins, separate from your display fields. Fifth, use mapping tables for anything that's truly a lookup problem, like state names to codes. Sixth, add review flags, then sample the flagged rows before you export or merge. This workflow is boring in the best way. It's predictable, auditable, and easy to hand off to someone else, and it keeps you from making irreversible changes that look fine until a mailing fails or a customer record gets merged incorrectly. If you want one takeaway, it's this: standardize with intent and keep the original intact. If this was useful, subscribe for more Excel workflows like this. And in the comments, which do you prefer for names? A, last first, or B, first last? Subscribe to keep optimizing your workflow and get back more of your time.